Welcome back to the Flow Friday Sports Show here on Flow FM. Time to find out how they're getting on over at the Ouyen United Kangas Netball Club with our very trustworthy correspondent, Caitlin Vine. Caitlin, great to be with you again. How are you?
I am good. Had a week off I did last week, so I am ready and raring to get back into some netty this weekend.
Good. Well, the girls will be feeling exactly the same way despite the fact that they all played on the weekend, because a very handy win coming just in time for the big game this week, which we'll talk more about later. But getting a win over Imperials, I understand, not just the A grade either, Caitlin. So you've got a bit of a report to bring us this week.
Yeah, exciting times are ahead. We had a fantastic day in Mildura against our Imperials, on the weekend, we had a great win in the A, the B and the C. Really comfortable wins. I know the weather was a bit ratty, a bit of wind, which did cause some erratic netball. But all in all, everyone was really, really pleased with the day.
Good stuff. I've never heard that one before. Ratty. Is that Ouyen speak?
Possibly. A bit of Mallee lingo. I'm not sure. But yeah, a little bit ratty.
Love it.
A little bit... how you going?
Yes, love it. All right. Let's just reflect on some of the other results from last time out, Caitlin, round 9. So Wentworth Mildura, how did this game go? Because, of course, some ramifications on the end of this for you girls going into this weekend.
Yeah, so it was a really, I guess that you could say, a tight game in terms of these two teams. Obviously, the top two sides, it was 56-42 Wentworth's way. So not actually too much in that, and obviously a very tight game for both of them. So that gives us a little bit of promise going up against Wentworth this week to see another team keeping them down to a lower score of 56. So that would have been a really good match to watch.
No doubt, and being on the front foot there and always thinking positively, it's not so much the fact that Mildura held Wentworth, it's more the fact that Mildura would have gone out here and actually made Wentworth sort of play for this and, take them as far as they did. So knowing that Wentworth would have, probably come out on the end of this being a little bit fatigued, that just really will breed confidence into your camp, Caitlin, because of the win that you had on the weekend and the win that all the teams had. The morale's high and, you'll be no doubt feeling good about going into the game this weekend.
Absolutely. I think you can see that Mildura got 42 goals there. So, we know that Wentworth's defence are incredibly strong. That's probably where the strength of their team comes. So, knowing that Mildura can score 42 goals against them, gives us the opportunity to do the same. So, confident going in and really excited.
All right, we'll revisit this later on. Let's keep talking about some of these other results. Irimple in their game against Merbeen. How'd this one go?
Yeah, I think this went the opposite of what I expected. 33 Irimple to 39 Merbeen. So Merbeen scraped through and got the win there, which is great for those girls. Both quite young sides. So it would have been a fast-paced game and good for Merbs to move up the ladder a little bit.
And how did South Mildura get on in their game away to Redcliffs?
Relatively comfortable for the South girls. It was 33 Redcliffs to 46 South Mildura. So a nice win for South to keep them up where they want to be, and another unfortunate loss for the Redclifs girls.
All right, well, before we take a look at your game in more detail this weekend, let's just give some coverage to the under-17 side. Caitlin, where do they sit on the ladder and how are they faring so far in 2023?
Yeah, obviously we've hit the halfway mark here. We're moving back into the second time playing every team, which I always like this time of year because we know where we're at and we know where most of our other teams are at. So always nice to reflect. Our 17s are the team of focus this week, and it's so great to see these girls, how far they've come from the start of the season. They're very strong, communicative, supportive team who've shown great improvement from top to bottom. They've only had a couple of wins. The 17-2s have had a couple of wins, and the 17-1s have only had one win, but those wins have been like a grand final for them, and it's so great to see them enjoying their netball and learning. We've got a few young girls in the 17-1s who have stepped up and benched or played a bit of senior netball this year as well. Obviously, the 17-1s often play sort of A, B standard teams for the other Sunraysia teams. So, they come across they come against some very tall and strong girls. So to see their improvement is fantastic. You know, you've got girls like Mia Grayling and Macca Clark who move beautifully down the court and feed some exceptional passes into the ring. And just great to see, the determination on all of their faces, considering these kids haven't really had much experience in winning netball in their careers. It's great to just see the sportsmanship that they're showing, and their attitudes have certainly shifted, which is a credit to them. So unfortunately the girls are sort of sitting second last on their ladders, but still really hopeful. I think they're going to have a smashing second half of the season.
Good stuff. Taking a look at round 10 of Sunraysia Netball tomorrow. Wentworth, it's a massive game, Caitlin, and, you know, you've got to think back to 2022. That's really where the marker is. I think everyone will agree, especially on the Ouyen side, that it just has been a bit of an uncharacteristic first half of the 2023 season. Back in 2022, which was not a very long time ago, Caitlin, despite the fact that in this ever-changing world, so much is going on every week, you've got to think back to, you know, when you and Wentworth were the two heavyweights, and you literally took them game for game, quarter for quarter, all the way to the very end, and just so very narrowly missed out. That's got to be what you all think about going into this game tomorrow to really, you know, get up for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there was a article in the Sunraysia Daily that said something like Ouyen getting themselves together or something after a very slow start, which, you know, we laugh about because we're not too fussed about, you know, how we start. It's all about how we finish, and as long as we develop throughout the year, we're happy. So tomorrow's a big game for not only the A grade but for all of our teams. I know a few of us are just marginally below Wentworth on the ladder. You know, didn't quite have the game that we wanted last time we came up against them, but know that we've improved and that we certainly can match them, if not beat them. So the spirits are well and truly high at training. We train really hard and well, and we're all very eager to snatch that win off Wentworth. Especially, it's a big drive, especially for our Underbull teammates who've got a solid hour and a half, 2 hour drive up to Wentworth, but we'll all be worth it if we can get a few wins on the board.
It's all a part of the day, all a part of getting into that psyche, spending those 2 hours by yourself on the road, Caitlin, and focusing. There's no better way to do it. Well, we really do look forward to seeing how it all goes. We'll talk about it next week, obviously. Some other fixtures for us to take a look at, though. Irimple up against Mildura. This will be a decent game, Caitlin.
Decent game. I think Mildura are just that little bit too strong at the moment, and they'll get the win there.
Perhaps a closer one will be Imperials v South Mildura. You'd think in the form they're in that the South Mildura girls can go on the road twice in a row and get it done, but Imperials have the home advantage, and they've shown at times this season that you know, they can match it with most teams. Yeah,
definitely. I think Imperials just don't take the opportunities that they have. They've got some fantastic holding shooters that could do some absolute damage, and they just possibly need to just work on that, and they would be a lot stronger. So I think that South will take that to their advantage and get the win.
Okay, Redcliffs against Robinvale Euston. Bit of a sort of cellar-dweller battle, this one, Caitlin, but yeah, what would be your tip for which way this one goes?
Yeah, I imagine this will be sort of the closer game of the round. Our two sort of bottom teams. I think Redcliffe will get the win here. I think that they're just able to build on that mode and motivate themselves that little bit more. I think Robinvale have definitely showed some real eagerness, but I think that Redcliffe will get the win.
We might very well get a good old-fashioned dogfight here. We'll wait and see. Merbeen, they set out this week. Caitlin Vine, all the very best to you and your troops this weekend. Thank you so much for your time. Stay warm, and we'll speak to you next week.
Thanks. Go Kangas.